glue some gears on it and call it steampunk. That's the trendy fashion nowadays. A copper-painted chunk of some 1980s junk will fetch a pretty penny on eBay.
This show is all about our passion for creating, inspiring others, and figuring out creative ways for our passions to help other people. It's no longer a hobby, and it's more than a passion. It's a way of life. When we started just 8 years ago, it was all about having fun. Then, that fun grew into a bit of an obsession. We started building larger props, massive costumes, and even vehicles. We fell in love with steampunk and cosplay, and Hatton Cross Steampunk has become a worldwide presence. My name is Dave Lee. We are Hatton Cross Steampunk, and this is HCS Creates.
So we just got the Gatling gun back from the paint shop from Jessica, who did an amazing job with it. And so now we're going to add some finishing touches to it. So since we decided to keep the hood in that original color scheme, we decided to match the barrels with the hood so that it all kind of ties together nicely. And so we're taking these tiny little brushes here, and once again, more tedious work. We're very, you can see where I've already started. It's kind of awkward. And we're just gonna gently paint it on. I'm not doing a full cover, so that way it gives it kind of a distressed look, because this thing hunts dinosaurs and we don't want it to look like it just came, out of an assembly line somewhere. So once again, more tedious work with this wonderful Gatling cannon. And look at the boss over there eating donuts while we do all the hard work. That's the day for you.
You see, not everybody has what it takes to delegate authority and to manage artists. So I take my experiences from my day job as a government employee of the federal government, not state, federal, and I just supervise and I tell them, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. Boys here are doing a good job. I'm actually quite pleased. Who says I'm not good at delegating and trusting people to do work, huh?
I think it needs a little bit of touch up over there on the right gun and the left gun and the right gun. You keep up the good work there, Joe. Good work. Keep it up.
These guys, I swear. So here we are at the almost at the final point, and tensions are a little high right now. We're a little stressed, really worried that we're going to be able to get everything done in time, so that we can roll everything out at these different conventions and stuff. And a lot of ideas being thrown around, and final, is it going to look like this? Are we going to go with this paint scheme? So a lot left to do, but I'm confident we're gonna pull it all off.
So I want to take you through the process of making the eyeballs that will be going into the wolf. So this is silicone that's poured into a mold to make a mold, and of course it's going to be difficult getting it out. So gently you take out the silicone, and you can see I poured the resin in there and made an eyeball. Then I painted that eyeball. Once it's painted and detailed, then you put it on a piece of black craft foam, glue it until it's finished. The finished product will look like that. Let me put it on something good. And so now you have eyeballs It can go into the wolf, and you'll see them in there later on. And you'll see how it pops, and it really makes the animal look like it's real. Then yesterday, you saw me working on the gloves, and cutting out all the different pieces of foam. So this is the next stage. And now I'll be covering this with latex and paint, and making them look realistic. And my final touch will be putting fur on the back ends of those so that they look like werewolf hands, and making nails. I'll show you that in a little bit. And then let's take you over here. Remember, the suit was covered with foam. Last night Dave and I worked on putting the covering on this, and then hand stitched it together so it will stay in place. And the next step on this will be covering it with fur, so it looks like the torso of a werewolf. Tiny werewolf, big werewolf. Now I'm just as tall as you are. Well, you don't wear heels.
Oh, I'm slouching. Sorry.
Things took a little longer than I thought. Even, taking on another person's part and putting it on your own, and trying to work it out all together. There's always challenges, and things don't go as quickly as you want them to. So I'm going to be pushing really hard in order to try to make this and get it done in enough time for Marscon. But I'm extremely confident in the fact that I'll be able to pull it out at the last minute, just like I usually do, and I'll be ready for Marscon when it happens.
I've this piece can be used. Oh, look at that.
Dave?
What about this?
Sometimes overdoing it is not good.
Dave,
That would look cool.
I know you like whatever, but no.
This. Oh, tell me that doesn't look actually like it's supposed to be there.
Okay, well, how about you sitting there and then see if it bothers your leg when you're trying to, peer out.
And we're gonna put your thingies. Your thingies.
Oh, that was gonna go right there.
Yeah. Just trying to keep you on track.
Maybe on the back.
What? A coat rack? What is it? Coat rack?
Pull my parasol.
I have this back scratcher for you. I will scratch your back.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
All right. Fine. No
Fine.
more goofing around back
Yeah,
and forth.
it will work.
Yep, there's, after much problems with the spikes, we've gotten to this point, and I used some of these wobbly eyes here to make them kind of look like rivets, I guess.
Bolts.
Bolts, yeah. And it's kind of makes a nice sound too. I like it. And I'm just kind of trying, if I had more room, I could do it a little better, but I'm trying to glue this here around because I don't like the seams that much. And this is going to be faster than filling it in with another material and then sanding it or something, so. Get some battle damage, right? We don't have any chain here, only plastic chain.
Plastic chain won't work.
I'm trying to make it look a little bit tight. This last day, we're very close. We kind of threw out the basic idea that we had in the beginning and reinvented some of the things. The glove I made was a total bust. It looked like, I don't even know what it looked like. It was horrible. And no offense, but it was just, yeah, it just didn't work. And Jessica and I, we sat down and we had a talk and we looked at some pictures on the internet and, finally kind of came up with a whole nother idea of how we could make a storyline go with what we can do to actually finish it on time. And we have a little bit of painting to do. You know, one or two things I'm missing, like jewelry and stuff like that, which, you know, we love jewelry, we love hair pieces, things like that. So I'm hoping that we're gonna get this done, but it wouldn't be us if it wasn't like a time crunch, and we wouldn't be like sewing the night before. You know, it's, I think it's usually a good sign that the con's gonna be great if you're in a time crunch and you're really working hard and you're putting all your energy into it too.
Hammer time.
My hair a mess? Yes. I'm a huntress.
Well, and then we'll just wire this here so we could remove it if we have to, or wanted to. You look in the mirror.
We don't have a mirror.
What do y'all think? Yay!
We're coming up on the final stretch, and me and my mom changed the idea completely recently, so I'm a little bit worried that we won't be able to get everything done. We changed the idea completely, where before I was supposed to be like a half machine, half human werewolf mixture. But now we decided to change it to where I'll actually be a werewolf huntress, because it made a little bit more sense with what we were building. We were having trouble actually coming up with something that would make me look half werewolf, half human, that didn't look cartoony. So we don't have a cool bodysuit like Mike, so we decided to change it last minute. So now I'm a huntress, and so I will be pitted against Mike. But I'm hoping that we can finish everything. We've changed the plan completely from what we originally wanted to do. We're not really doing a robot arm anymore, just because we kind of ran out of time, so we're building a shield instead. So I'm hoping that everything gets done, but I mean, we'll see what happens.
So you have like a step going down and then one rolling on?
Yeah.
What I can do is I can make like a little thing. Yeah? Alright. Done. Another thing for a home.
Oh, maybe a piece of leather to protect her.
Yeah.
Head. Just make a circle.
There's this guy I heard about. He's got a company called Master Creations, I believe. That guy could totally make it for us. Make these wicked aprons. All I want to do is just stand here like this. They even have our logo. In a world full of logos,
What?
one logo stands alone. The Jurassic Park logo, or maybe, or should it go here? I'm excited. We still got a little bit to do. We've got to paint a, there's a red stripe that goes along here, and then it comes down at an angle. And I was going to do a stripe back here, but I just don't want to cover up any of the hard work that Rusty and Joe did on this tail section, so I'm just going to leave that red stripe off. But yeah, I think it looks pretty damn awesome. Get the motors mounted up at home this week, and so that I can push my button and fire away.
Don't look at that right right, so he was just cutting through right here. Got a little crazy with it and messed up the dashboard. Now Rusty is not going to be happy.
One of the things we want to do on the show is we want to test the theory that these are fun things for your inner 5-year-old. And so what better way to find out if these are actually cool to kids than to ask some kids. So we got my neighbors here over here are going to come and join us. This is, I call her Princess Leia, and Julian. And these two have helped me out on other projects. And so we're going to get their opinion. All right, you two, step over here first to the roadster. Now, Joe's gonna tell you a little bit about our roadster.
Originally started out as a riding lawnmower, has gradually over time turned into this awesome thing that we call a roadster.
That was incredibly descriptive, Joe. What is our roadster equipped with, Joe? What is our roadster equipped with?
Oh. 2-hour roadster that comes fully equipped with dinosaur killing tranquilizer Gatling cannons.
It's cool how they roll.
And we have lights underneath, and we have headlights here, and we can actually drive it. So what do you think?
I really like it.
So do I. I like the eagle on it. Yeah, I'm inspecting the wheel. Oh, this part's coming off, but it's good so far. Oh, there's pipes. It looks good.
The same thing. I also like the eagle.
Yeah, the eagle's really cool. It feels like real gold.
Is it glass? Oh, it is glass.
I thought it was plastic. Good. Keep testing it. Keep cool.
This is our werewolf huntress outfit. This is supposed to be obviously like a little bit of a shield. If you can listen really carefully. That's actually googly eyes that we have painted to look like rivets. That's my favorite thing about the costume. And this is supposed to be like a claw. On the back you can see we have a couple of lights and things light up really cool. Yeah. Lights are always cool.
I like lights.
Especially I think a really cool outfit or costume.
What do you guys think?
I really like it because my favorite animal is wolves.
Oh,
yeah, that's
okay.
actually mine too. I also
And
like
the
googly
claw.
eyes.
The googly eyes?
Yeah.
I know, I always think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the claw too. It looks really cool.
Yeah. It also kind of looks like the wolf is actually eating your elbow.
He's eating my elbow.
So what do you think? What's the verdict?
I like it.
Kid tested and kid approved.
Now Mike's werewolf suit is still a work in progress, as you can see, but he's going to tell you about it.
So I have more work to do, of course. A werewolf needs teeth, so I'll be putting teeth into his mouth, and I'll be able to open it.
Right now he's an old werewolf.
And the eyes will light up. There'll be red eyes in there. And then I'll be able to breathe smoke out of the nostrils. So when I say I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, I'll blow and there'll be smoke coming out of my nostrils.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then I'll also be up a little taller, like this. So,
Because you're a werewolf.
Put the nails on the hands and the hair on the hands. So, what do you think?
I like it. One of the things I like is because it's a motorcycle helmet.
Uh-huh.
That's
Safety.
cool.
Safety first.
Yeah. Also, I like because that's kind of the way how my mom had to make her Halloween costume. She was Edward Scissorhands, so she had to do a lot of work on the hands.
I really like the mask.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
That's what took the longest.
And I like the big buff suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
So that was good.
Kind of looks like what is the fur stuff?
It's real fur.
Oh, that's cool.
Ah.
So what do you think? What's the
What do you
verdict?
say? I like it. Kid tested and kid approved.
Ah, thank you.
Absolutely worried that we would not finish on time. When you're doing multiple builds at once, with so many people in the room, you know, sometimes there's not a lot to do, so you just gotta wait for the next step. But with this case, we had plenty of work to do and not much time to do it. So yeah, we were, at least I was a little worried that the build wouldn't go through. But I think we had solid progress and worked through it.
we're pretty much done, but we're not anywhere close to being done. It's the fun bit of all of these things of, you know, there's some parts where I'm just totally flabbergasted that we got this far, and other parts where I still look at the list of things that didn't work out the way I planned. My whole plan for motorizing the Gatling guns was a disaster. The motors that I had selected was a far too complicated design, and they were too powerful. They were drawing too much current and actually melted one wire, caught another wire on fire, and luckily we had no injuries and nothing damaged to the shop, but I still have to figure out a solution, and Marscon is literally right around the corner. So even though we're done with day 6 or nearing completion of day 6, I'm still gonna have to pull a few all-nighters to get this all working right, because if I go into the reveal going, it should do this and it should do that, it's a whole setting the tone of failure, and I can't have that. We put too much time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into this, and it has to be perfect.
Where's Jessica? Where is she? What have you done with her?
Too tight? Too tight? Can you reach the switch for the back?
So, first and foremost, we built a vehicle because, you know, when we said we have 6 days of filming, what can we do in 6 days? I said, a vehicle sounds doable to me. And I came clean in the video that
we had intended on doing all of this in 6 days and kind of creating that illusion of the time crunch.
You know, while we only filmed 6 days, we had a 2-week break in between where we built the heck out of that car in the back there. And so you're probably looking at it and see some things that look familiar. You're saying it looks like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang's car. That is only, you know, a coincidence, because I don't want to get sued by Disney. And if you're saying the dinosaur emblem on the side, you're thinking that looks like Jurassic Park, that's only a coincidence, because I don't want to get sued by whoever makes Jurassic Park. God bless them, great series though. So if I could get everybody who's in the aisle to kind of give a little bit of space, one of our cast members, Jordan Gonzalez, is going to push it down here so you can see. It is built on a riding lawnmower chassis. So it is drivable, but for the sake of carpets and conventions, it has no oil, no gasoline, and no battery in it. So that we can't mess up any carpets, we can't do anything. But I tell you what, if I could start it up, it sounds 10 times more annoying than that 16-year-old in a Honda down the street from you. Because everybody's got one, I know you do. Maybe you're one of those 16-year-olds, and I apologize, but you should know that your cars are annoying, unless they look like this. Just get a round of applause for Jordan. That is not easy to push around. We're an expert now. He wasn't until just recently. I recruited him. I was like, if you're going to date my daughter, then you're going to learn some skills that I can use at conventions. I will be driving once again from Gloucester, Virginia, all the way to Tucson, to drive this around Old Tucson Studios, which is a movie set, 5-acre city, where they filmed pretty much every Western that John Wayne was ever in, including my favorite Tombstone, not John Wayne film, sorry. My favorite Western, Tombstone, because of Doc Holliday. And I'll be driving this around the dusty streets of Tucson, Arizona, which should be pretty fun. So that couldn't possibly be enough for a TV episode. I mean, if you're going to try to show off to a network, you really got to overdo it, and because anything worth doing is worth overdoing. So, being that my very first convention that I ever went to, it was actually because of Rachel Bevins. Are you here? Rachel? Well, Rachel used to host a belly dance hafla here. My wife being a belly dancer, that's why we came in 2005. And I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Then my daughter wrote a book, and we came, like Bush said, to sell her books. And I had already been exposed to steampunk, and then I saw a guy whose name I can't remember, a big guy. I know you all know him. He was up in New England. But he had some amazing steampunk, and I was hooked. And then, so to pay homage to Marscon, we wanted to build not one, but 2 props for Marscon in the episode. So, because your theme is werewolves, could I get Mr. Michael Perotti from Master Creations? I'm gonna need some fear from you guys. Come on. And when you watch the pilot episode, you'll be able to see how much blood, sweat, and tears went into this. And there is a whole lot of stuff going on there, and I can guarantee you that Mike cannot breathe very well there. It is getting hot in there. And since we are purveyors of fine and response, controlled contractions of false perception and questionable relics, and we don't follow instructions well, we decided to go against your theme and bring out a werewolf huntress out on the stage. And in this corner, the SPCA. And in that corner, the Stray. So let's give a big round of applause for them, please.
Yeah, so here we are at the end, and we've got the roadster that I primarily, that was my role this time, was putting all that stuff together, and to actually start off with a riding lawnmower and then turn it into what it is now, the roadster. That's pretty amazing, and it was, a wonderful journey along the way, watching it transform. And so it was awesome being a part of it, and learning all the stuff along the way, and just a lot of fun.
I think the reveal went wonderful at Marscon. Can't wait for next year. It was, believe it or not, also, I know Dave said in one of his, it was his first convention. It was also mine, when they, kind of brought me into the family and let me go with them and see what it's all about. And I think that's really when the first interest I kind of had peaked at that point. But yeah, I think we accomplished everything we wanted to accomplish with this.
So the overall look in the end, I think, it's nothing what I expected, but I was happy the way it turned out. And it's, for me personally, it's really hard just to kind of make a plan and then stick 100% to it. And every now and then it's like, oh, but we could do that. And so some of the wolf parts that were supposed to start out on the head actually ended up on the shoulder, and things like that. I don't think you could tell that we started out with these little kids gauntlets we found for $1 at a store. And it took a little bit of work, but I really think it was totally worth it. And I'm sorry, but I'm biased. My daughter wore it, and she's the most awesome person anyway, so she totally rocked it.
As you can see, I think it came together pretty well. I was actually working on this until 1 o'clock yesterday morning. I got everything working though. I got the smoke working, and I got the job working, and I got the eyes working. So And I think the crowd really liked it. I heard them when I came out. They were really impressed with it. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. You know, of course, there's some things I'll improve on the next one, but all in all the work and time and effort was well worth it, and I really love being here at Marscon to show off the werewolf from Marscon.
So it seemed like the costumes came off really, really well. Everybody cheered really loud, it seemed like. Maybe I'm just thinking that in my head. That's just what I want to think. But everybody seems like they really like the costumes. I've had a couple people come up to me afterwards, you know, asking to take photos and things like that. I know that my fight with Mike was a little goofy. I didn't really know what to do halfway through, so I just made things up, and then I pretended to pat him on the head. I don't know what that was. But I think it went well. I think everybody really liked our costumes. So far, the con has been amazing. I will say it's a little hot in here. All these feathers, all this fur, it's not the coolest costume. I mean, it's cool, but it's not cool, if you know what I mean. But so far, it's been a lot of fun. Lots of great people here, and it's been fun taking photos with everyone. I think the next couple of days will be a lot of fun. As always, I mean, we've been to Marscon year after year, and it's always been a lot of fun. And I like the theme this year. I like puppies, so werewolves are just hardcore puppies.
We're here at Marscon finally. It was a lot of stress getting here, getting set up. We had a lot of things that, you know, kind of hindered getting set up or not. But everything went great. The audience seemed to really like my cheesy jokes. They seemed to like the vehicle. They seemed to like Mike's werewolf costume and Jessica's werewolf huntress costume. And so their little skit of them fighting was cute. And yeah, it was just fantastic. The car is horrific turning radius, so it was a lot to get one single turn. And I did bend one of the hood pieces because I turned too far. So, but anyway, all in all, it was an awesome time so far. And we've got the rest of the weekend to sit here and sell books and talk about the show, and hopefully get a whole bunch more subscribers so that you folks looking at this at the networks are going, dang, we better sign them quick, because you better. So it's a huge relief because, you know, the show and the projects as it ended is nothing at all like what we started. But that's the cool process about making things and what we really want to convey to people who watch the show. So in that regard, it was a big success. It's a huge relief that people like it and they appreciate the props. So that's great. I'm actually going to go have myself a little scotch now and chill out a little bit. So probably the best part about this is that it's been our hometown convention at Marscon, and we're really happy that you stuck around this far along in the episode to get to this point. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next episode.
Some gears on it and call it steampunk. That's the trendy fashion nowadays. A copper painted chunk of some 1980s junk will fetch a pretty penny on eBay.